In a remote monastery, surrounded by mist-covered mountains, there lived a young monk named Tenzin. His heart burned with ambition. He wanted to be known as the wisest monk of all. He studied scriptures day and night, memorized sacred texts, and quoted the Buddha's teachings to anyone who would listen. Yet deep inside, a quiet emptiness gnawed at him. Despite all his learning, peace and clarity seemed to drift farther away each day. One morning, unable to bear his confusion any longer, Tenzin decided to seek out Master Ryokan, a reclusive sage known for his profound wisdom. The journey was long and silent, filled with doubts and questions echoing in his mind. When he finally arrived, the old master greeted him with calm eyes that seemed to see straight through his soul. "Master," Tenzin began eagerly, bowing deeply, "I have studied the sutras, practiced meditation, and recited every verse. Yet I feel no wiser than before. Please teach me how to become truly intelligent." The old man nodded and motioned for him to sit. He brought out a pot of tea and 2 cups. As the tea began to steam, Tenzin continued talking, proudly listing every book he had read, every debate he had won, every idea he had mastered. The master listened quietly, saying nothing, just pouring tea. But as Tenzin kept speaking, the master kept pouring, until the tea spilled over the rim of the cup and began to flow across the table. Shocked, Tenzin jumped to his feet. "Master, stop! The cup is full! No more can go in!" Ryokan smiled gently. "Exactly," he said. "Just like this cup, you're full of your own ideas. How can I pour wisdom into you if there is no space left to receive it?" Tenzin froze. The words hit him harder than any teaching he had ever heard. In that moment, he realized the truth he had been avoiding. He had mistaken knowledge for wisdom, pride for progress, and information for understanding. His mind was so full of answers that it had forgotten how to ask questions. The master poured him a fresh cup and continued softly, "Intelligence is not about how much you know, but about how much you are willing to unlearn. The greatest obstacle to wisdom is the belief that you already possess it." That night, Tenzin couldn't sleep. He walked outside under the cold mountain sky, listening to the wind move through the trees. For the first time, he felt the weight of his arrogance lift. He saw that the path to wisdom wasn't in accumulating more thoughts, but in clearing space for awareness to bloom. From that day on, Tenzin changed his way of learning. He spoke less, listened more, and asked deeper questions. When he read a passage, he didn't rush to understand it. He meditated on it. He stopped seeking to prove his intelligence and began seeking to expand it. Months later, the master asked him, "Tell me, Tenzin, what have you learned?" The young monk bowed deeply. "I have learned that an empty mind can hold infinite knowledge. I have learned that silence often teaches more than words. And I have learned that true intelligence is the humility to keep learning." The master smiled, his eyes gleaming. "Then your cup is ready. Now let it always stay half empty." Years passed, and Tenzin became known across the land, not for his brilliance, but for his presence. People felt wiser simply by being around him. When asked how he became so intelligent, he would simply smile and say, "I stopped trying to be." The lesson: true intelligence does not come from having all the answers, but from remaining open to new ones. Every time you empty your cup, every time you listen instead of speak, question instead of assume, and observe instead of react, your mind grows. Knowledge fills the mind, but humility expands it. The moment you believe you know everything, learning ends. But when you admit that you know nothing, wisdom begins. So remember, keep your cup half empty, because the mind that stays open, like an empty vessel, is the one that never stops growing.